Yeah, Ashwin, I'm coming to that. Okay. Okay. So, guys, so we were seeing implicit weight. Now, what should be the value of time unit dot seconds over here? What value should be I said based on this? Can you hear me, guys? What should be the value of 10? Okay. What should be the value of 10? Okay. The value of 10 should be 3. Now, so basically, what we can do is this value of 10 can be 10 seconds. Okay. So, uh, okay, I have specifically mentioned all the other elements. That is why people are saying 3. Okay, that's fine. But let's say there are a couple of other elements also which take more than 3 seconds. Okay. So what we can do is we can specify the value as 10. Okay. Then all the elements, which take less than 3 seconds, something little greater than 3, 5 to 6 seconds, those elements will be loaded based on this particular element. But for this, okay, and let's say there is one more, okay, let's say channel feed. This takes, let's say, 25 seconds. Okay. So guys, never ever make this 25. Don't make this as the maximum limit. Okay. Because for each and every element, then it will wait for 25 seconds. And then for your code, okay, your code execution will be very slow. And that is why we have this concept of explicit wait. The name itself suggests what is explicit. Okay. So if I am sending a message to someone, it is like an explicit message. Okay, if I send a message in group common to all, you can say this is an implicit message. Okay, common to all the members of the group. But if I send a message, okay, privately to someone, you can say this is an explicit message. Okay, so I am dedicatedly saying that please, oh, where is the code? Okay, here I am dedicatedly saying that please wait for this code. Okay, which code is that? This is this code. Okay, so for live feed or for channel feed, we can have your explicit wait. Now, how do we define explicit wait? The first thing is you can have web, and apart from that, yeah, one more thing. So some of the people are saying, yeah, we can use that. Okay, thread dot sleep. Yeah, that's also it is in milliseconds. Let's say 1000. 1000 is 1 millisecond. Again, thread dot sleep is your normal this thing, right? I mean, it's a normal concept. It's not been designed something by Selenium. It's a normal, you can say, Java concept. Okay, or any programming language which uses a thread, they will have this method, thread.sleep. Okay. Now, what is exactly thread.sleep? Okay. What is exactly thread.sleep? So thread.sleep. So when your execution starts, it is running on a specific thread. Okay. And using thread.sleep, we are making that thread to sleep for say 1000. Okay, so I'll make this 10,000. So this is 10 seconds. Okay, this is 10 seconds. But okay, yeah. So as Mohit is saying, right? So Mohit has given this very good explanation. Let's assume the element which we want to find after this. I'm not using implicit wait. Okay, I'm not using explicit wait. The element which needs to be found or find after this. Let's say it is submit button. Okay, okay, submit button gets loaded in 3 seconds now. I mean, this time it got loaded in 3 seconds. Okay, but your thread.sleep will force you to sleep for 10 seconds. Okay, even though your button is ready. Okay, your button is ready in the market. You can click on that particular button, but still your thread.sleep will wait for 10 seconds. Okay, it will skip for 10 seconds. It will wait for 10 seconds and then it will click on the button. But when we have implicitly wait, okay, we have implicit wait. So it will check the button. If the button is visible, then we can simply click on that particular button. Okay. And now there's one more thing, right? So now we can have you can have explicit wait. So first thing is let's see what exactly explicit weight will be. Okay, so I'll say web, one second, yeah, web driver, okay, web driver. So anyone aware of the, how do you define explicit weight? Weight is equal to new, yes, web driver weight. Okay, so driver, this is your object of the web driver, and here you have to define time out in seconds. So let's say I want to wait for 25 seconds. Okay, let's say I want to wait for 25 seconds. Okay, so when I say WebDriver wait, okay, so there is one more thing. The reason why we do not specify long list of elements, long range over here. Let's say, so Anand is saying why it be slower, you ask for max value. Okay, so the reason is, let's say if I define 25 seconds over here, okay, and I have a button, let's say submit button, again, the same button, submit. It is loading in 3 seconds, and it should load in 3 seconds, no doubt. Okay, it should load in 3 seconds, and if it is not loading in 3 seconds, that means there is something wrong in your code, because this button generally loads in 3 seconds. Okay, now let's just say we have defined this value of 25, and if this button has not loaded in 3 seconds, okay, but there is some issue in your program, I mean your code, okay, your code has some bug or some issue, or the way you are finding the element is not correct. Okay, that is why we are not able to identify the submit button. So how many seconds will it wait to throw an exception? Yes, how many seconds will it wait to throw an exception over here? 25 seconds. Okay, perfect. It will throw 25 seconds. So I'll say 25 seconds. Okay, it's throwing an element. Now let's say you have 100 test cases. Okay, let's say you have 100 test cases, and now all of those 100 test cases, because this is mostly on the login button, let's say this is login button. Okay, all of those 100 test cases, you are first trying to log in into the system and then perform some action. Okay, now how much time will this take for execution of 100 test cases? Only to throw the error. So it would be 25 into 100. Okay, this would be 25 into 100. So can you say we are taking 2500 seconds just to throw an error of some bit, which should have been done in 3 seconds. Okay, so for those elements which we know, right, it should be loaded in 3 seconds. We should never define the upper limit, because after execution of all these test cases, okay, that means after 2500 seconds, okay, you will realize when you get the report, okay, that there is something wrong, and then when you go, you find a very small mistake that the XPath of this particular button is, there's some issue, or the XPath has been changed. Okay, but you have spent so much amount of time. Okay, and guys, in real scenario, if you see, okay, there are cases wherein you have, around 1000 cases. Okay, and if you multiply this would be really a big number. Okay, and after spending so much amount of time, if you get your report saying that this is a small error, okay, then this is quite painful. That is why we try to keep this number as low as possible, so that if there are any code errors, right, if there are any genuine code errors, it will be thrown simply in less number of seconds. Okay, and for those elements, okay, which we specifically know, okay, that it will be visible on after a specific amount of time, or suppose there are many other conditions. Let's say there is a username field. Okay, there is a username field, and there is a password field. Okay, and when you enter username, okay, only then the password field will be displayed. Okay, so initially when you are over here, and if you try to find the username, it will find, but if you're trying to find the password, it will fail. Okay, but when you enter the username, okay, and then when you click on something, next button or something, then the password field will be displayed. Okay, or maybe when you enter username and password, then on the same web page, okay, on the same URL, your submit button will be displayed. Okay, or maybe the submit button is displayed but it is not enabled. Okay, let's say the submit button is displayed over here. Okay, it is displayed but the submit button is not enabled, and it will get enabled only after you enter the value of username and password. Okay, so in these such circumstances, okay, you can try to use explicit wait. Or let's say there is submit button over here, it is displayed, but what happens, it's not displayed, it will be displayed in some time. You enter your username, okay, and then you enter your password, okay. Then instead of displaying submit button, it first checks into the database, okay, or maybe from some API response, okay. It is checking that the username and password, okay, this is your client side checking, okay. Instead of doing the server side check, what it is doing is it is performing some client side checking. Okay, so this is called as client side validation. Okay, so it's validating that this username and password, if this value is correct, only then submit button will be displayed. So this might take, let's say, suppose 10 seconds. This might take some time. So for these cases, guys, okay, for these cases, you should be using explicit wait. Now, Sridhar is saying, what's the difference between implicit wait and WebDriver element? Difference between implicit wait and WebDriver element. WebDriver element is an entirely different concept, right? WebDriver element is like whatever fields you see on the web page, that is called as element, right? Those are WebDriver element. And wait is like we are applying wait for the element to be available on the UI. Okay, if you want to click a particular element and if that element is not available, then what's the purpose and what's the use of clicking that particular element? Okay, that is why we are using implicit wait. So it's giving me an error. What should I do? Okay, sorry. It's giving me an error because of this. Okay. Okay. So I'm saying WebDriver wait is equal to new WebDriver wait. Okay. Now, he's asking difference between implicit wait and WebDriver wait. He's asking the difference. Okay. Okay, you're asking difference between implicit wait or maybe WebDriver. Okay, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. This implicit wait. Okay, so there are two types of wait. First of all, guys. When I say wait, okay. Okay, so actually there are three, but we'll cover two: implicit wait, and fluent wait. Okay, these are the types of wait. Okay, now I think I have explained to you when do you use implicit and when do you use explicit wait, right? So implicit wait, as I said, it applies to all the elements on the web page. Okay, so for any elements, we should wait for a specific amount of time, and then if the wait time is common for all the elements, we will be using implicit wait. Okay, simple. Now for explicit wait, let's assume there are a couple of web elements on the web page, which takes a lot more time as compared to the normal implicit wait time we have defined. Okay, let's say my implicit wait time is 10 seconds. Okay, it's simple, 10 seconds. Okay, and now there are a couple of elements which even that they take time to get loaded on the UI. So for those elements, you can write a method as explicit wait. Okay, you can write a method as explicit wait. And then we have fluent wait. Okay, fluent wait we'll see sometimes later. But yeah, even in fluent wait, what happens is we can define a polling period. Okay, for fluent wait, actually we define a polling period. So after each and every poll, okay, so basically what we have you do not want to check in each and every second. Okay, let's say there is some long list of execution going on. For example, in my project, okay, we perform some activity, right, and then after 10 to 15 minutes or maybe 10 to half an hour, that particular objects are being displayed. Okay, and this is the real-time scenario which I'm talking about. Okay, so when I perform some activity, okay, then after 10 to 30 minutes, it is getting displayed on the UI because there is some background processing. Okay. Now, for that particular background processing, what we can do is, we can specify a fluent wait. Okay, wherein I'll say that specify a fluent wait for this particular element and check after each 5 minutes. Okay, check after each 5 minutes instead of checking every now and then, check after each 5 minutes, because I know that this is something which takes time. And if even after specifying the maximum limit, it is not available on the UI, only then you can handle it. Okay, then try to show some error or exception, or maybe try to handle the exception which it will be throwing. Okay, so let's just focus on implicit and explicit wait. Okay, because this is fluent wait. I'm not sure if people really ask you in interview, but yeah, they can. But this is the definite question: implicit and explicit wait. Okay, so now I'm trying to define WebDriver wait. Okay, so I'm saying WebDriver wait is equal to new WebDriver wait and wait for 25 seconds. Now, what's the next line? What is the next line? Okay, so let me say wait dot. Okay, what's the next line? Can I use until? Okay, so there are not many this thing. So first thing is Mohit says expected condition. Okay, guys, think more on what. Yeah, what can be this thing? What can be used? Okay, what can we use over here, guys? Come on. And now at this particular point, you have to think something. Okay. Yes. Nobody. Okay. Then let me say. So I can say wait. Sorry, I can say wait dot. Sorry, wait dot until, and I can say, is there any function expected conditions? Okay, dot. Let's see. So expected conditions. Okay, guys, and within this there are a lot of methods. Okay, so on what condition you have to wait? Okay, you can specify conditions over here. So let's say alert is present. There's one condition. Okay, then you can have this element selection state to be. Okay, then frame to be available. Okay, if you have working on frames. Okay, so you can have frame to be available. Then we have invisibility of element. If this particular element is invisible, then you have to perform something, or maybe number of elements to be clicked. Okay, and then we have presence of all elements. Okay, so when all the elements, okay, are located by this, I will specify locator, and when all the elements are present, only then go ahead. Okay, or you can say text to be present in element. When this particular text should be present in the element, only then give a go ahead. Okay, and then we have title is something. Okay, when I say it, let's say you are performing something, and okay, and your title will change. Okay, now you have clicked on something, and after that your title will change. So I'll wait. Okay, till the title is changed. Wait for this many amount. Okay, so there are a lot of methods. Okay, there are a lot of methods. So let's say if I say visibility of let's say visibility of element located by. Okay, visibility of element. Okay, so I can select this. Okay, and here you can specify the locator. Okay, now I'm not going to specify the locator because this won't make any sense. You can specify any locator and it will work. Okay, but the reason is you should understand the code. Okay, locator, if you specify, it will work. So what this particular method is doing. Okay, so I am saying visibility of element located by this method, sorry, by this locator. Wait until this particular. So I'm saying wait until. Okay, until is like your while loop. Like your while loop is keep on executing until we meet something. So wait until, okay, this particular element which is been specified by this. So when I say locator, you can specify a locator over here and this line, and you can use that locator. Okay, and when I say visibility of element located, guys, okay, what does that mean? When I say visibility of element located, or what you can do is, let's say if you do not want to use in anywhere else, you can simply use by over here. Okay, and you can use xpath. Okay, by dot xpath like this. I think now it's quite simple, right? This is also quite simple. You know how do you use by dot xpath, right? And here what should you specify? The xpath of the element. Okay, I'll write this xpath of the element. You know this, right? So wait dot until expected conditions visibility of element located by. Okay, so please wait till my element. Okay, till my element is visible, and once that particular element is visible, what should I do now? Now what should I do? I'll use the dot click method. I will simply use dot click method. So where should I use it? This is my element. Okay, let's say I have stored that particular element over here. When you are using explicit wait, okay, when you are using explicit wait, always try to instead of finding the elements, okay, store that particular element somewhere like this. Okay, web element, and you know this, right? Element is equal to, now you can use a driver dot find element by dot xpath. Okay, this way what you can do is store that particular element over here, okay, and then pass the element. Okay, and then in the next line you can say element dot click. Okay, so now what will happen is, guys, when this particular element, okay, is visible within this stipulated time, okay, only then it will click on this particular method. Okay, and let's see what this method says. Okay, or it will return the false when the timeout expired, else it will return you false. This is simple method. Okay, expected conditions. Okay, this is one of the class which has many methods. One of the method is visibility of element located by the located, and here you can specify the locator. Okay, and based on the locator it will click on that particular element. Once you find the element, it will click. So guys, this concept is important. And why am I saying to pass this as an element? Okay, why am I saying to pass this as an element? Because in future, when you will be actually working on framework, okay, when you have designed your own framework, you should not be writing individual lines like this. Okay, you should not be writing individual lines like this. What you can do is you can create a method. Okay, you can create a method. Sorry, you can create. Okay, I'm already in a method. Let's try to create something over here. Let's say public method, and here I can specify explicitly wait. Now, what should this particular method accept, guys? Should there be any parameter, or there should be no parameter? First of all, yes, we can have a web element. Okay, we can have web element. So on which particular element you want to perform, what do you say, on this particular element you want to perform the wait. So you can specify driver over here, you can specify element over here, and if you have different time periods, okay, different time periods for each and every element. Okay, and actually you should have different time periods, because let's say, one of your element live feed is loading in 13 to 16 and channel feed loads in 25 seconds. Okay, so you should be sending, we are running out of time, guys, again. Okay, so still we have 5 minutes, so this will be loading in 25 seconds, so you should pass different time. Okay, you can specify time unit. Okay, and based on the time unit it should wait, based on the time unit it should wait for your element, and once you find the element it should either click or it should pass something positive response over here, and then you can click it from this main method or any of the method, right? Either you can click it from here, okay, because you already have the element, right? You have the element, so you can click. But sometimes what happens is you can use this function as a boolean, once this element is located, or you find the element. Yes, I can find the element. So when you find the element, that means now you can click on that particular element. So simply return something positive to this function. Okay, yeah, we are actually winding up because it was from 2 to 3. So we are actually calling this method from over here. Okay, So we are calling this method. So simply return something positive over here. So once positive is returned over here, it can click on that particular method. Okay, guys, are we clear on this? Quite simple, implicit and explicit way. Okay. So tomorrow, guys, again we'll connect. So hopefully, Sapna will give you a session on some of the Selenium functions. Okay, some of the Selenium functions, and maybe a couple of other topics if she is comfortable with. And guys, apart from that, I see today Sapna had some issue with her laptop. Okay, so I gave you the session, right? So I can give you sessions. There is no doubt in that. I mean, I can give you session. And but what happens is, expat. Yes, expat. I'll take. But what happens, if someone else is also giving the session, so basically he or she will spend around, because I know I and Sapna have been connecting from last couple of days, and she has been really working hard to give this session, right? So when you try to give session, you first learn it yourself, because you have to give session to 25 people, right? So you'll make sure that you are well prepared, and to be well prepared, you will understand the concept really well. So you will take 2 to 3 days, or maybe one day to entirely study the concept, and then you will get the session. This is for your own benefit, okay? This I'm not forcing anyone, but this is for your own benefit. So for next session, maybe tomorrow, Sapna is the candidate, and tomorrow again we'll have the session at this time, okay? 2 to 3, because all of the other are actually blocked. So we will have it from 2 to 3. So and from after Sapna, who is willing to share the screen, please let me know, or message me individually 1-to-1, or we can decide tomorrow. Okay, guys, please practice this. I'll share the recording.